mother, entrepreneur, influencer, personality, and more. I have a passion and charge on my life to provide entrepreneurs with the motivation to be their own boss. I'm Nara Winay, and I'm a dope resource. What is up, loves and thugs? I am Nara Winay, and you are tuned into another amazing episode of Chit Chat with Nara. You all, this episode is nothing like it was supposed to be. It's not even the topic that we were going to talk about today, but I still felt like it was important to go ahead and record this episode. Y'all, I have no makeup on, no lashes, hair looking a mess. I got a little bit of slop and mushed up bananas on my gown, but it's okay. So let's talk a little bit about how today went. So it is Saturday. I usually try to record on Thursdays or Fridays, but it was just a lot going on this week. So I had to change up my time that I record. Whew. So here it is, Saturday night, almost 11 p.m. Actually, let's see what time is it for real. Let me look at my little iPad. So you all, it is 10:48, okay? It is 10:48 at night. And I am finally recording this podcast. So, we're going to set the iPad down. Let me tell y'all how today was supposed to go. So, usually on Saturdays, I do all of my deep cleaning. I close out any projects that I need to finish up for the week. And then I start to slowly prep for my Sunday setups to, just be ready. Well, y'all, nothing went like that today. Brayden woke up teething. My baby finally has a tooth cutting through, okay? He woke up teething and he wanted to eat anything he saw everybody else eating. We have finally hit the phase of him sticking his hand in my plate. So we got to make sure that everything is almost 7-month-old baby temperature. Not too hot, not too cold. He's actually right here with me while I'm recording my podcast. So hopefully he doesn't get in the frame because it's not ready for him yet, okay? Chit Chat with Nara is not ready for Brayden to make his debut in the episode yet. But like I said, you all will see my kids appear in some of the episodes this season. So along with him teething and being cranky, we know it all come along with that, running a fever, just not wanting to do much, wanting to be held, poopy diapers, all of that stuff. And then on top of it, Royalty woke up not feeling good herself, congested, stuffy nose, and a stomach ache. So I spent most of my day laying around with my kiddos, okay? I canceled meetings and everything because I knew that I had to become a mom first. But I still wanted to go ahead and give you all an episode because I feel like it's important with what Chit Chat with Nara is all about. It's about being a real life entrepreneur. Knowing that sometimes things isn't going to go the way you want them to go. So I still felt like it was important to record this episode. So let's talk about it. We get told as entrepreneurs that we have to have this game plan. And in the last episode, we talked about how I really don't care for business plans, but I'm really big on vision plans because it gives you the opportunity to work through the gray area when things don't go as planned, okay? Like today. Today did not go as planned. I truly thought that I was going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and record this podcast and makeup be beat to the gods and all of this stuff, and none of that happened today. Like, nothing. The most I did was cuddle with my kids, made sure everyone had took baths, and cooked dinner. That's all I did. And trying to stop a baby from trying to get in the camera, which I know he gonna crawl his way over here soon. Like, I already know he is. And so what if you all hear him in the background, okay? I tell people all the time, I'm a full-time mompreneur. No matter what. Whatever I'm doing, I'm always a mom 24/7. And that's okay. Isn't that okay, Stinker? It's okay? Okay. So let's talk, like I said, about how can we just not make ourselves feel bad when we can't get everything done. The old me would have went into like a total slump because I didn't get stuff done. I would have been so frustrated. I would not have recorded. I would have been like, I didn't have time to put no lashes on. I don't even have any makeup on. Like, y'all about to have to see the hyperpigmentation, the dark ring under my eyes from lack of sleep this week. Like, y'all was gonna see it all. And like I said, I didn't even care to change my nightgown to get the banana off of it. But let's be real. We all know I have a baby, okay? He's literally about to be 7 months in like a week. So, of course, it's going to be banana on my shirt. Like, even recording a reel, like, being a content creator is the craziest thing, because even as a content creator, people expect for it to be quote unquote perfect, okay? And it's not always going to be perfect. I decided I wanted to record myself cooking the jambalaya today. And guess what? I literally had to stop and give Braden some bananas on his, when he was in his high chair. Had to stop during the voiceover because he started to crying. And I needed to put my baby on my lap. Even right now, like I said, while doing this episode, he is really sitting next to me with his blankie. Just trying to keep him busy enough to get this episode recorded. And I feel like it's important, regardless if you have children or you don't have children, to know that it's okay if things don't go as planned. Sometimes you have to improvise. I had a whole to-do list wrote out of how I was going to do everything. Y'all almost downloaded an app today that's supposed to, like, help you stay focused. That say, okay, break time is over. Now time to get back on track. And then I was like, no. Like, I love to stay organized. I love to plan. But it's okay if things don't go as planned right now. And honestly, I think I needed the rest just as much as my kids. Like, as much as they needed me to just watch cartoons with them today and care to their needs at the moment, I didn't realize how much I needed to just rest today. I'm always on the go because, like I told you all, I am in a focus of a transition that I'm going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks. And so my mind is like, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to not have no idle time right now because I know I have this goal I'm trying to reach. And then I thought about it. You can't always do that in life. Life doesn't always go the way you want it to go. I started working on, just getting things back organized in my life, cutting ties from different things, changing my circle of individuals that I choose to associate with. And it's all because we can't be stuck right here if we're trying to get there. And if we only focus on what we can and can't do and things not going how we need it to go at the moment, we're always going to be at that resting point. And I feel like it's important also as a mother for me to show my children that it's okay. It is okay if things don't go how you plan for them to go. It's always another day. At first, I'm like, oh man, I got all this laundry to do for the weekend. We need to do this. And we didn't go to the grocery store like I planned on doing. And then I said, you know what, Nara? Just place an order tomorrow. Your daughter's sick. Y'all probably not going to church in person. So place that order. Cook breakfast like you usually would. Y'all can attend church from online. Eat y'all some breakfast. You could do laundry then. I just had to rework my day. Yes, do I have to double up on my workload so that I could be still on track for the upcoming week? Of course I do. But it was important to take that step back. And we slept most of the day. Like, really slept all day long. And I got to thinking about deadlines and how sometimes we give ourselves unrealistic deadlines because we just want to get it out the way. And I told myself, I'm going to stop doing that. And I recommend we all do it. Like, okay, if you know it takes you a week to get something done, go ahead and tell your client or customer, hey, it's going to take me a week and a half. Give yourself that wiggle room because you never know when something is going to come up that's going to need your attention more than what you already had planned. And I've always lived by that, where I never tell people like, oh, it's going to take me 24 hours to do it. If it takes me 24 hours, guess what? I'm going to say it takes me 72 hours. And if I did not live like that, y'all, this would have been a rough day. Like I said, I had to cancel a meeting today. And it was because my kids was my emergency. My daughter's not feeling good. My son is teething. As a mother, I was not comfortable with sending them to their grandparents' house. I don't want to get anybody else sick because my daughter is sick. So I did that. I stayed home with my kids. Then I got a pregnancy craving. So that's how we ended up with jambalaya out of nowhere. Like, I literally woke up from my nap like, ooh, let's make jambalaya. And then my daughter was saying she wanted rice. So It worked out good for us. My son, he got to try jambalaya today. He enjoyed it. And y'all, I told y'all he was going to make his way over here. He done crawled over to me, and he literally has his blanket on him, and he is holding on to my hand, and I love it. And I think that's what I love the most about these unplanned episodes, where y'all get to truly just see me and see how I am with my kids and how it is to do business. Some meetings that were supposed to be on video today, I still got those meetings done, but I did them from my phone. And I let them know, hey, you're going to hear my kids in the background. And the crazy part about that is, it made a meeting with a new consultant so much easier, because she was relaxed, because she was like, oh, well, I feel better now because my 6-month-old is in my lap. You know, so to be able to be my true and authentic self and be able to have other parents relate to what I have going on. And you all, he is so determined to get over here. And all he has on is a diaper, so I am trying to keep him out of the frame as much as possible, y'all, but he is not going for it. And he's tired, which makes it even worse, because he was just asleep when I was like, okay, let me go ahead and do this episode. But it's just something that I always wondered is, why do we do this to ourselves? And I believe I talked about it in season 3, when I talk about how we sometimes put unrealistic expectations on ourselves, and we overdo it because we feel like that's what it means to be an entrepreneur. And sometimes it doesn't mean that. Sometimes being an entrepreneur means to, once again, just make sure that your work and home life balance is up to par for you. Just because you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build a brand up does not mean you can't give yourself time to just take a deep breath. Like, I literally had to give myself that time to take that deep breath, y'all, because if I didn't, oh my gosh, do you know how terrible today would have went? Like, I didn't care how long I stayed in the shower. I said, you know what, I'm finna do some aromatherapy. I listened to music. I listened to a podcast episode when I was in there. My kids was napping. That was my bit of mom time. That time to be Nara. I thought about some business ideas when I was in there. You know, I worked on a couple of websites when I got out. I made me some tea. You know, I just lived today. I lived without a plan, and it was scary at first. Like, I was a little nervous. Like, wait a minute. Like, I am like a planning queen. Okay, y'all? Like, I think I got a planner and a calendar for every aspect of me and my children's lives. Okay, and also, you know, you can always get those planners on www.narawene.com. Okay, digital planners is a thing. It is a must. Okay, I truly believe it's a must. And so, you all, I'm putting his little blankie on him so he can lay on his mommy's lap, because he is not going to be a good baby and stay on his side of the couch. He wants to be with his mommy, so we are going to cuddle up while I do the rest of this episode. But like I was saying, y'all, sometimes you just need that cheat day. You know, we give ourselves a cheat day when we diet, when we exercise. We give ourselves that mental health day when work gets too much. Sometimes you need some type of cheat day where, yeah, we get it, you're a business owner, but sometimes it's okay to just be a mom, a dad, a aunt, an uncle, a best friend, a significant other. Like, it's okay to make time to do that and still get business done. And I feel like as I'm going through this transition, I have to remember that and be able to encourage other people to be the same way. Why are you nudging me? You are not supposed to be in the podcast. And you all, he is literally wanting to be in this podcast. Okay, come on, Mr. Only Have on a Diaper. And so you all, let's say hi to Brayden. Say hi, Brayden. Brayden, say hi. Say hello. No, he just want to be up here. And you all, at first I'm like, oh no. We started this episode off with me saying he's not going to be in this podcast. And he doesn't care. He's like, I want my mommy. Like, I want to be with my mom. And that's a part of it. This is like real life mompreneur. Stay at home mom. Handle business from home mom. This is the raw and uncut Nara. This is the Nara that you all are going to get to see in this season 4. You know, it's not always going to be perfect. It's just going to be me. And I love that. And I hope that I'm inspiring other moms. You know, how can we make being working moms more easy for us? Do we get online and we play it off like everything is perfect and only record those absolute great moments in our life? Or do we get on here and we do episodes like this when our kids think that they're going to talk about it? What do we do sometimes? And like I said, he has me in full mommy mode right now, as we can see. I really thought he was going to at least sleep for like 30 minutes so that I could go ahead and get this episode done. And clearly he wasn't. And like I said, I could have said for Kit doing the episode for this week and not even have met my deadline to get it out there to you all. But then that would have been doing a terrible service to you all, not to give you all the raw and unfiltered Nara. Like, I didn't even have time to prepare notes because what this episode was supposed to be about, it's not about it no more. But I feel like I can still inspire people and we could talk about things we can do. So what do we do when we know we need to be able to create and even do any type of content to get our businesses and brand out there, but we have situations like this? How do we get through that? So let's talk a little bit from a marketing and advertising side. So let's take Chit Chat with Nara, for example. We know it's raw, it's uncut, it's unfiltered conversations about being an entrepreneur. And, maybe some of us do have kids and some don't. Clearly, I have children. So a lot of my stuff is talking about mom life, and that's kind of what season 4 is more so about, letting you all get a taste of what made me an entrepreneur, but also seeing me in my element now of being more of an entrepreneur, but doing it truly as a full-time mom and doing it as a single mom. And I'm not saying that every show is going to be about, but really it's going to be about these type of things, but I think it's important to be able to just understand what it's like, So I feel like when something comes up and we can't get things did the way we want to, and we're just going to use the example of creating content, because I did bring up that with working on my reel of making their food today, I had to stop a couple of times. And what do you do when things doesn't go your way? You implement. Now, we also talked about in season 3 in one of the episodes about how now in the world we live in, our fans and our followers and our customers, they kind of want to know a little bit about the person behind the brand. So use those family moments and those personal moments that you're not too worried about the world seeing. Like, I'm not saying put it all out there, but hey, if you are in the middle of promoting, let's say you sell carpet freshener, okay? You sell carpet freshener. Maybe you're in the middle of getting ready to do this amazing display where you're going to have your different type of carpet freshener sitting out there. You're going to have a vacuum out and all of this stuff. But maybe in the midst of it, your kids spill some cereal or they crush Cheetos or something up into the floor and you're like, oh man, I was trying to do my setup. No, that's still part of your setup, because now you get to show us, while it's been a part of your life, exactly how your carpet freshener works, okay? Let me sprinkle this carpet freshener down and use that vacuum and vacuum it up. It wasn't what you planned to do, but you improvised because life made you improvise. I wasn't expecting for him to be sitting on my lap, okay? He just wants his mommy. He just really wants his mom right now. And he's probably going to end up back asleep before we even done. I wasn't expecting for him to be on here. And I didn't want to have to stop the camera and then re-record when I could easily just implement my child into a podcast where everyone knows that I'm a full-time entrepreneur and a mom. I'm always talking about being an entrepreneur. And you tired. Yes, you tired. I know, baby. Get you some sleepy sleep. You're not going to lay down until mommy rock you to sleep, are you? You all, we have to cuddle every night before I put him in his crib. So right now he is like, mommy, get me. Okay, let's get you adjusted. Is that better? There we go. All right, my little baby. Okay, you okay? He's okay, y'all. He just need his mama. So we are going to just rock him to sleep and we're going to finish this episode. So yeah, like I said, the crumbs might have been on the floor, but you still was able to create great content. I planned on talking through making a jambalaya today, but it was so much chaos in my house, and my daughter was coughing from her room, and the camera picked that up, and then she came in here telling me about that. I know that Oprah Winfrey was one of the richest African American women in the world, and she gave out cars. Like, y'all, today was so crazy. And then it was like I was exhausted, but I knew I had to get up. And we all know I'm blind, but I didn't want to record this podcast with the ring light reflecting through my glasses, so I did put my contacts on. And I just was like, it's time to live life. It is time to just do what we have to do as parents, as moms. And this episode is probably not even going to be as long as it should be, but it was important to still get it out there. Now, what are some other things we can do when we're trying to get stuff done? We could take breaks. We could build out our days to have those little breaks in there in case something happens. So, for example, say you're working on a project and you know that project is going to take you 4 hours to do. Build in 6 hours. So then every hour and a half, you can get up, you can take care of the household, you can just decompress, maybe rest your eyes for a little bit, whatever you need to do. So then that way, if something comes up and you told yourself you were allocating 6 hours, oh y'all, this context is getting on my nerves. You were allocating 6 hours to that project. Now you have the ability to not feel bad, because if you have to take an hour to just kind of take care of life issues, or you had a quick little emergency that came up, okay, you still got 5 hours to work. So, I don't know. That's my little spiel on it. I feel like sometimes we overdo it, and we, like I said, we set those unrealistic goals for ourselves, and then we wonder, how can we get it done? But I always tell people, if we find time to scroll on social media, which is a great thing, because we want people scrolling on our stuff too, okay? If we have time to do all of that, take naps, probably do a little gossiping and communicating with family members and all of that stuff, we have time to structure out, days where things don't go planned. Like I said, it's late at night in my household because my kids are tired. But I still wanted to go ahead and get this taken care of. This little boy cracks me up. Some days I have the worst nausea ever from the pregnancy, but I still push myself through it. My sugar is through the roof right now. Glucose level is too high for my pregnancy at the moment, but I'm still dealing with it. And I'm just I have to be real with y'all. And I'm hoping that people that's watching this episode, you stop beating yourself up about having to be real about things and realize that stuff is not going to always go as planned. But as long as you have that game plan in the long run, you can still be successful and succeed. So what if you have a speaking engagement and you're the dress you ordered or the pantsuit or whatever you're planning on wearing didn't get there, or it's not right? Make it work. Even if you got to put a t-shirt on, throw you on some leggings and some pumps and put a blazer on, okay? That is still business professional in the world we live in, all right? You throw your makeup on and a little lipstick and you ready to go, okay? Period, Or say, fellas, that suit that you wanted to wear, it ain't tailored correctly. Go ahead and throw them slacks on with a nice little polo or a little button up. Make sure your hygiene is good, you're smelling good, you got a fresh hairline. You good to go, all right? Okay. You planned on recording content, and like I said, your kids are in the way. You don't have to incorporate them into your content if you don't want to, but you can incorporate the situation in there. You planned on finishing up that blog today. Take you a nap and finish it later. As long as you meet that deadline, you're good to go. So it's okay to take a step back sometime. It's okay to understand that sometimes in business, things aren't going to go the way you want to. Maybe you're a fashion designer and you planned on coming out with your spring collection, but then you realize, clearly the groundhog lied to us because most of us got snow, especially if you're up here in the Midwest. All right, go ahead and double back and tell people about them trench coats that you were promoting during the winter anyway. Go ahead and pause that spring. Or maybe throw in that spring collection, but who said you can't wear jacket and boots in the spring? So it's ways to work around it. You're a hairstylist and you planned on doing 5 heads today, but only 3 of them showed up. Guess what? Now you got that time where those other 2 people didn't show up to go ahead and look at your books, see if you want to run any specials, if you have time to, just create some content, or maybe you can go ahead and have somebody that's been waiting for a spot. They might want that spot. So in the world of living, we are always told when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I like to say when life gives you lemons, add some tequila to that. You know what I want to say, and turn that bad boy into a margarita, okay? Because sometimes life make you be like, woo, I need to feel it in my chest, okay? So that's just my little rant for today. Like I said, I still wanted to get an episode out because I told you all we are going to be consistent, okay, in this season. All right, we are going to be consistent, okay? We are going to be attentive. We are going to understand that it's somebody out there that may need to hear from you. It was somebody out there that needs to know it was okay if things didn't go the way they wanted it to go. Like I said, my son is sitting right here in my lap, and my right eye, as I have it closed, is killing me from these contacts being in, and it's super dry in my house, so I need to get a new humidifier. So guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to boil some salt water, put it up to these heat vents, and we're going to make it do what it do, period, okay? But I am going to just leave y'all with that, to know that even when stuff don't go the way you have it planned, as long as you get a little bit done, okay? And I'm talking about a little bit, and you have that faith as small as that mustard seed that we hear about, you're good to go. So you all, I'm going to continue to care for my babies tonight. I'm going to go ahead and hopefully be able to give y'all the episode we were supposed to have this week for next week. Life is going to be a little bit better. Maybe I need to readjust when I record, or maybe I need to plan it out a little bit better. But either way, we're going to keep striving, because the one thing we can say about being a boss is that we're resilient and we can handle anything. So as always, you all, I am Nara Renee. And like I always tell you all, people are going to talk. So give them a reason to mimic your dope. Bye.